Ladies and gentlemen, this is an emergency live. So voting has begun. Early voting has begun in multiple states. Let me make sure my table's up. So I have intel on Kamala Harris, on her campaign, on her inner circle. I have intel of what happened backstage after the Fox Brett Bear interview. Kamala Harris was crying. She was screaming, and she was actually verbally saying, "It's over. I'm done." I also know, well, I'm getting info about what they have planned for January 6th once Trump wins. Ladies and gentlemen, whose job is it to certify the election? The leader of the Senate. Without the leaders of the Senate signature on the paper, there's no certification. Who's the leader of the Senate? The vice president. Who's the vice president right now? Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is running against Donald Trump. And when she loses and her signature is needed on January 6th, you know what she's going to do? She is going to do what Mike Pence was supposed to do. Mike Pence had the full authority to send it back to the states, and he was a coward. But the Democrats, we know that they love using stupid toolboxes. Joe Biden, we know he's not running. He's being told what to do. He's not running the country. Kamala Harris, why did they put her up? Because she's easy to control. And when they tell her, you don't sign it, you do not certify, she won't certify. And then we are going to go into a constitutional crisis. Pray. Ladies and gentlemen, pray. Some of the stuff that I'm getting from Pastor Matthew Shea up in Washington State. He's a constitutional attorney. He's a 20-year United States veteran. He was a lieutenant who fought overseas. Then, for 12 years, he was a Washington State lawmaker / representative. So, constitutional attorney, lieutenant, and was a representative. He says that the people that he has on the inside are telling him they know she lost. They know there's nothing they can do. It's too big to rig. Polymaker has Trump up by almost 70% chance that he's going to win. Kamala is in the low 30s. She's doing worse than Joe Biden was against Trump. And now their plan is on January 6th, they are going to do illegally what Mike Pence should have done legally. Mike Pence had the authority to send it back to the states and say there are issues, there are problems, and he had legal ground, but he cowered. She is going to say, we believe there were issues and you guys stole it, and send it back. It's going to be constitutional chaos. It's going to be, I hope it's not. I hope it's going to be smooth sailing. I hope I'm wrong. I hope 3 months down the road, I'm going to get comments and emails and saying, Vladdy, you were wrong. I hope so. But we know these people are sick. These people are disgusting. And we're going to get right now, there's several states. First one is Marjorie Taylor Greene warning us about what's happening in Georgia. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene sounds the alarm on voting machines are switching votes in Georgia's 14th district. That is her district. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene took to social media platform X to sound the alarm on a disturbing incident reported by a voter in Whitfield County, Georgia's 14th district. According to Greene, a constituent in Whitfield County noticed that their printed ballot did not reflect the selections they made on the voting machine, particularly changing their votes away from the candidates they had chosen. So here's the X. FYI, to all my voting friends and family, a friend of mine in Whitfield County yesterday voted, checked his selections, then printed it, checked the printed version, and it was not marked the same. Please look at the printed ballot after completion. Very strange occurrence. After several attempts for correction, they voided that ballot and the machine, and he had to revote on another machine. Please check your ballots. When you go to vote, make sure you're ready to record anything. Make sure you are ready to go and watch closely. When you fill it out, make sure everything's fine. If you're in one of the states where you actually, like Georgia, you run it through the machine, then you see the results before it goes into the system, double check. Make sure. Also, there's a bunch of like Democrat accounts who are posting, like they're pretending to be Trump supporters, and then, they mark off Trump, and then where it's Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, they just like cross it out, and they say, yeah, cross them out, send a message to the commies. If you do that, your ballot is void, your vote does not count, and you will not get another ballot. Like if you're voting by mail or dropping your ballot off, and you fill it out for Trump, Vance, and then you mark out Harris, your ballot is screwed. It's out the window. Your vote does not count. Now, here we go. Voters in Georgia, Texas, and Shelby County, Tennessee report voting machines are flipping their selections. Ladies and gentlemen, before we continue, this is a great opportunity for me to ask you to please give the video a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. Leave a comment. Where are you voting for Donald Trump from? And a big shout out and a big thank you to the sponsor of today's video, VERITY Metals. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe in gold and silver. I talk about it all the time. I believe the system that we are living in right now is failing. And we don't need to save it. We need to start from scratch. We need to go back to our the Constitution base. And according to the Constitution, our money should be backed by gold and silver, not oil, not paper, not the Federal Reserve, not the banks. In the year 2023, we saw over 70 banks collapse. What gold and silver does, it is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Again, it is not, capital not, a get-rich-quick scheme. It is just another form of currency in your hand. But it is the best currency. Silver shot up over $33 yesterday. What does that tell us? Inflation is going up. The value of the dollar is going down. Banks are unsteady. Get some American Silver Eagles golds. Protect your IRAs, 401ks, and your retirement. Even if it's not through Verity Metals, I believe in gold and silver. Go to a local pawn shop, to a local dealer. But if you go to Verity Metals, you're supporting the show, and you're supporting a Patriot-owned company that donates to the Trump team, that is, supports good causes, and they fight for election integrity. Get free silver and qualifying orders when you tell my good friend Matthew that Vlad sent you. Call him today, 480-717-9081, or go to veritymetals.com. Free silver and qualifying orders. Links down below in the description. That's it. Let's continue. Here we go. It's like 2020 all over again. Voters in Georgia are reporting the voting machines are flipping their selections and changing ballots, changing totals. On Friday, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene reported that Dominion machines in Georgia are flipping votes. Let's go down. Then there's the video from her. This happened in Whitfield County in Georgia. Also, it happened in others. See, we even have Whitfield County Board of Elections. It's saying, beware, there are posts saying that it's, here's what they say. The Whitfield County Board of Elections and Registrar's Office is aware of a Facebook post stating that a printed ballot didn't reflect the voter selection. This issue was quickly resolved when the voter was still on site. We assure everyone that we're here to support you in your right to vote. So please always double check your printed ballot before putting it in the scanner. If at any point while voting you need assistance, please ask, and the poll worker will be happy to help you. I got a question. Whitfield County Board of Elections. First of all, what are you doing? Why is it again, election after election, we have issues with the machines? You look at Taiwan, right? I believe like 20. Oh, by the way, yep, I'm watching Maricopa very closely. I'm in Maricopa County for this election. First time I'm in here. You already know I went super viral on Twitter X, where I'm calling out Latinx registering non-citizens outside of a DMV, people that can't speak 2 words of English, and they want to tell me, a legal immigrant who came here legally and is now a citizen, that I'm wrong and they're right. Yeah. But why is it that we always have issues with the machines? In Taiwan, about 30 million people vote. 1 day voting, in person, paper ballots, hand counts, they're done. They never have issues. No one ever questions the results. Same thing in France. They tried the machines. In Italy, they tried the machines. In Spain, they tried the machines. And they said no. But when you look at Brazil, when you look at Mexico, when you look at all these other countries that use machines, they always have issues. People don't believe the results. Ladies and gentlemen, this is crazy. And now I want to introduce you to someone. I'm going to take you to Twitter, to my Twitter page. I'm going to introduce you to a voter, to a flippin' white dude for Harris.
Y'all doing? All right. My name is Maxon Kirkpatrick. I am a born and bred Michigander, a fellow on the Michigan One campaign, and president of Students for Harris Walls at Wayne State University. Y'all doing?
Is a Kamala Harris voter. So dudes like him are going to vote, and God forbid she wins. And then we have to go to war. And let's say there's a draft. And me, 6'4", 190 pounds, me and him are walking down the street, and the military needs 1 more person to fill their quota. They have to drag someone off the street to go overseas and die for the country because Kamala's president, and she got us in war with Russia and Iran. And that dude that voted for her and me who voted for Trump, we're walking down the street. Now, I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm not a super dude. I'm not a UFC champion. But my prediction is I would be drafted before him, because they're going to look at him and be like, what is he going to do? This dude would run away from a chihuahua. So the guy that did not vote for the war, did not vote for this, is going to be dragged, because if you look at white dudes for Harris, none of them are getting drafted. They're all a bunch of betas. No, be a beta. Hey, I don't judge. Do what you got to do. But people like that are voting and telling me, ignore what's happening with Dominion. Ignore what you're seeing in all these states. We have the most secure elections in history. We went from 2016, a rigged election by Russia. That's what they told us, to the most secure election in American history. If me and him are gonna be drafted, I'll probably be on the front lines and he'll be doing the drag shows. I don't know. Shoot, man. Some of these comments. But ladies and gentlemen, by the way, if you're on Twitter, please go follow me. This is my Twitter at ANN_news92. And then I want to show you a couple other things that are happening right now. Here we go. Here's another one. It's Democrats in Tennessee sounding the alarm. This is gonna be the last story. And then I want to just mention something else. What? Democrats in Tennessee now sounding the alarm over voter irregularities? Voters claims machines are flipping their votes. This is now 4 different states. For years, Democrats across the nation have reassured Americans that our elections are safe and secure. But in a stunning reversal of their own rhetoric, Democrats in Tennessee are now raising alarms over irregularities. The Shelby County Democrat Caucus held an emergency briefing on Thursday to address disturbing reports that voting machines were flipping votes from Democrat candidates to their Republican rivals. Well, I'm good with that. Bye. No. As a Republican Trump supporter, if someone's out there flipping votes from Kamala, if someone comes in with a sincere heart and wants to vote for Kamala Harris, and that person's vote is flipped to Trump, whoever is behind the flip needs to go to jail. I'm against flipping votes no matter where it goes. I don't care if you're flipping votes from Trump to Harris or from Harris to Trump. Election integrity. When I say I'm for free speech, I'm even for free speech that disagrees with me. I will fight for your right to say things that I don't like. I will fight for your right to vote for anybody you want, even though I despise the candidate you vote for. That's what our veterans laid their lives down for. That's what they lost limbs for. That's why many of them are in wheelchairs and with post-traumatic stress disorder. That is what they fought for. But now, look at this. Ladies and gentlemen, what do? Remain in Scripture if you're a believer. There's wisdom, there's guidance, there's knowledge too. Pray. Pray for your county, pray for your city, pray for the country. I believe, here's my intel. Let me pull it up. There was a text message I got. What did I do with it? Man, I lost it. But, so, after the Brett Baier interview, Kamala Harris went back to like their house or wherever her and her campaign team were staying for that night. And she started crying. She started screaming and cussing everyone and said, "That's it. We're done. I lost the selection." And then she started screaming how on January 6th, she's not going to certify. She started saying people, sent these text messages to someone I know and they informed me. Then there's behind the scenes, there are 2 plans going on. First plan is they will not certify the election on January 6th. Get the military involved, put us into civil war status, meaning they all get security, they're all going to be protected. There's a second plan. If that doesn't happen, what they're going to do is they're going to undermine Donald Trump every step of the way like they did the first time. Like they did Trump's first 4 years, there are already plans of how and where they're going to undermine him. One of the plans is they are going to crash the economy. This is why I started working with Verity Metals recently, because they are going to crash the economy and blame it on Trump. Say, we told you if you elect them, the economy, if you listen to the news, Trump's tariffs are going to cost you 30% more. Trump's tariffs, all the economists agree. Trump's tariffs are going to cause hyperinflation. We are going to have shortages of everything, remember? Everywhere you turn on, they're saying that Trump's tariffs are not the same tariffs that he put in place the first time. These tariffs are bad. They're already telling you what they're going to do. They're going to cause mass hyperinflation. They're going to cause food shortages, depression, and it's going to be done on purpose to blame it on him. But rest assured, I believe that the Lord will, if this happens, the Lord will give Trump wisdom, and instead of a 10-year depression, we're going to have to put up with about 16 months to 2 years of very, very difficult financial times. But they're already telling us. So what we got to do, ladies and gentlemen, be prepared. I tell everyone, get a few cases of water, like 3 weeks of, the bottles of water. Have dry food, right? If in case the electricity goes out, make sure your gas tanks are full and you got a few 5-10 gallon gas tanks in the garage stored with some premium gasoline, some diesel. If you can't afford a generator, have some cash. Just be prepared. Pray and wait and hope and work for the best, but be prepared for the worst. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why I talk about these. American Silver Eagles. This is actual constitutional currency. It actually says liberty, in God we trust. On the back, it says United States of America, 1 ounce fine silver, $1. Now, in constitutional money, this is $1. But by weight of the silver, this is worth $35 to $45. Silver right now and gold is spiking. Do you know what that tells me? Tells me that the people in the financial realm are getting ready for some bad times, because if the economy is doing good, gold and silver goes down. If the economy is doing bad, gold and silver goes up. It's not a get rich quick scheme. What it does is it protects your money from inflation. So the more inflation, the more expensive silver and gold is. The lower the inflation, the cheaper it gets. So when the economy is doing good, gold and silver is down. It's cheaper. When the economy is bad, that's when gold and silver gets more expensive, because now the dollar is worth less, and this currency physical currency can be traded for any currency in the world. Any bank will take it anywhere. And this is constitutional, this is biblical, and this is the oldest currency in the world. Please go to a local pawn shop, to a local dealer, call a local representative of gold and silver. Protect your savings, protect your IRAs, protect your 401ks and your retirements. But great news, if you want to support, number one, the channel, and two, a patriot-owned, Trump-supporting company who actually donate to the Trump campaign every quarter, VERITY Metals. And Matthew, who's a very good friend of mine, if you call him and say, hey, I watched Vlad, he told me about you, what can you do for me? I either have an IRA, 401k, I got some savings, or maybe want to do a little bit at a time every month when I get my check. Matthew will give you the best deals. He'll take care of you. He puts you in the right stuff. Again, I get emails and phone calls from a lot of businesses, at least 2-3 a week, who say, hey, promote our product. I only promote 2 products, Mike Lindell and My Pillow in My Store, because it's an American-owned, Patriot-owned company that builds them, and the products are good for you. They have good pillows, good blankets, right? Made in America. And this American-owned company here in Phoenix, you can actually go into their office and meet them, and you can see your product, and they can help you with everything. These are the only 2 companies I've turned down at probably near 1,000 different companies in the last 3 years of me doing content. These are the only 2 companies I said, yes, let's do it. I believe in your product. You're in America, Patriot-owned company. So ladies and gentlemen, just be prepared. Be prepared for whatever might happen. Make sure your cash, your crypto. Ladies and gentlemen, pray. See, if you believe, I believe in prayer. I believe prayer does miracles. And you know, let everything be in God's timing, because his timing is perfect. And I want to end with this. I know a lot of people who voted for Hillary in 2016 and who also voted for Obama in 2020. They believed the media. They believed everything CNN and MSNBC told them. They believed, right, Trump was this bad guy. But because of what happened in 2020, because of what happened in the last 4 years, I know over 15 people that I personally know. Some are even related. Sad to say. Now I'm proud of them because they've had a reawakening. And they are now all voting Trump. All voting Trump. They are all voting Trump. But if in 2020 everything was fine, Trump would have just served these 4 years. Yeah, let's say they didn't succeed in their plan in 2020. How many people would still be asleep right now? I believe it was God's intervention in a way that 2020 and the last 4 years played out the way they played out. Because a lot of people now see that the government is not our friend. They see the CIA, DOJ, the mainstream news media, all of them, FEMA. They don't care about you. They only care about power. They see that the Democrat and the Republican Party is nothing more than one uniparty that hates us. They only want a big paycheck and they want to sell out to China. I'm in a very strange way. I'm thankful for kind of what happened, because they wanted the Great Reset. They got the Great Awakening. They wanted to give us the Great Reset. They gave us the Great Awakening. And last example of that I want to prove to you, 2020, the pandemic comes. Everyone just locks down. Oh, what does the news tell us to do? Okay, and Trump didn't know what to do. He was listening to Fauci. He was listening to, lockdown 2 weeks to kind of, the curve. Let's 6 feet distancing. Everyone gets a stimulus check. Oh my goodness, put on a mask. But who remembers when 10 months ago they started talking about monkeypox, and then the World Health Organization got together and said, "Oh my goodness, what are we going to do? It's a million times worse than COVID." And then they were talking about locking down, more stimulus checks and masks and social distancing. And then Alex Jones, Donald Trump, many other creators went online and made videos and said, "We will not comply. It's election year, and so look at this, another disease." And then they started reporting that 5 people in Texas died from monkeypox. But then people rose up and said, "Nope, we're not falling for it. You can do whatever you want. We won't comply. We will not give our personal rights away again for the benefit of a multitude. My personal rights, our Constitution guarantees me my personal rights, not for the better of everyone, but personally. That's why we have the Declaration of Independence. No other country in the world has it. You're an individual. So, and then what happened with monkeypox? It just disappeared like it never happened. It just disappeared, which is crazy. Monkeypox they came. Apparently 5 people in the state of Texas died from monkeypox, and then we stood up and said no, and then boom, it all disappeared. like it never happened. That is crazy. They will not, they wanted a great reset. They got a great awakening. The people are awake. The people will not cower. The people will not lock down. Now we actually know how the election system works. If you asked me 4 years ago, what is a chain of custody and a ballot? I'd say, chain, custody, what are you talking about? You just get a ballot, fill it out, send it back, they count it. Now I actually understand there's a chain of custody that comes from the moment it's printed. Literally every room, where it was, for how long was it, who mailed it out, when mailed it out, where mailed it out, how to find out when it got back, who counted it, who opened my envelope. I understand the system now. What's Dominion? Where is they from? Who funds it? How does it work? What are precincts? Right? Who runs elections? Can a federal judge or even the Supreme Court get involved? Because of their great reset, they got the Great Awakening. People are getting involved. What is the job of Congress? What is the job of Senate? What is the job of President? Oh, fourth branch of government? Oh, there is a deep state. When Trump says there's a deep state in the swamp, oh, he means a bunch of people that can't ever be fired, not even by the president. And they're in the government forever, and they have all the intelligence on everybody. Yeah, we're not falling for it anymore. We are rising up. We love our country. We're taking our country back, because when America's great, the world is great. When America fails, the world fails. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. I'm going to keep you updated on everything. Make sure you're subscribed. Give the video a thumbs up. Be prepared. Get some food, gas, some cash. If you got savings, 401ks, if you're interested, call my good friend Matthew at any time, 480-717-9081, or go to Verity Metals. Mention me, mention this podcast. He'll take real good care of you. He's a patriot who loves Trump, supports Trump, and donates to Trump. Thank you so much. God bless.